Hello, everybody. It's Alex Shevchenko from Aurora Labs here. As always, on Fridays, we are happy to share with you some news from the Aurora ecosystem in a weekly stream on the YouTube that is called Friday Alpha Leaks. And we have quite a lot of things to share with you this week. There are lots of news. And probably one of the biggest news from this week is the statement from the Near Foundation on the USN protection program. So there were lots of questions and lots of comments in Twitter around it, and I would like to present our own perspective on this and to explain a little bit for those who were not able to read a very detailed explanation of what was happening and how the reaction was coming from Near Foundation and also from the DCB or Decentral Bank. So to put the story short, the USN stablecoin was having two releases by now. The first release was in April 2022, and this release was having the following mechanism for minting USN tokens. This mechanism was a deposit near using the Oracle data mint the respective amount of the USN tokens. So in case the price of near is 10, then for one near token, there is 10 USN that is minted. And at the moment of redeeming this near, the amount of near that you're getting out depends on the price of the near back then, right? So in case the price of near is 12, then out of your 10 USN, you're going to get around 0.8 near. Now, the things with the scheme are going to break at the moment when the near price is going down, right? Because then for 10 USN that is minted, in case near price is around $5, then it means that 2 near must be released, while in the treasury there is only 1 near. And the way how USN was trying to elevate this was twofold. One thing was that in the treasury of USN was deposited already some amount of near from the very beginning, and they wanted to increase this amount. And there is a second mechanism that the near that is deposited in the treasury is staked within the near proof of stake algorithm. And this staking of near produces around 10% of the newly freshly minted near over time, which means that the treasury is growing by itself. And from that standpoint, obviously, it was a hope that the market is not going to crash dramatically and everything will be good with USN. This is what DCB was thinking about that first version. Unfortunately, they were, with their assumptions, not correct. And the market was turning down around the end of May. Because of the Luna crash and the following recession. So they were forced to launch the second version of the USN stablecoin, and this version was operated in a very simple manner. You deposit 1 USDT and you're getting 1 USN back. The reasoning behind it was that this is an intermediary step in order to allow for these instability periods of the market, and then later on things would be able to come back. They have been working on the third version of their protocol. It was containing the DAI style CDP position when you're depositing your collateral, and then using this collateral you're able to mint a little bit of USN up until the point that the collateral ratio is 150%. In case the collateral ratio drops, then this CDP core is actually liquidating your position. So it sells your collateral and gets the stable coins inside of the treasury of USN. That was the plan. However, they figured out that all of the drawbacks of the first version was causing the under collateralization of the USN. And they were coming to the Near Foundation with this problem. They were revealing this problem to the Near Foundation in the end of September. Around that moment in time, a little bit later, this problem was exposed to us, or to Aurora Labs, and we were and we were proposing to the Near Foundation to start the USN protection program, because thinking of the users is in the heart of what we are doing. And the last thing that we want to have is that users who have been using USN in both Aurora and Near are actually suffering the losses. So Near Foundation was putting aside $40 million to make sure that that everyone are going to be covered and everyone are able to exchange their USN into USDT .e, right? The bridge, the USDT over the Rainbow Bridge in the respective amount 1-to-1. This proposal was positively taken by Near Foundation. And this protection program started. You are able to access it at usnpp.auroralabs.dev. For everyone who is willing to exit their USN through this protection program, you're able to do it with the subsidiary of Aurora Labs, a separate company that is called White Knight Protection, and we are compliant, and we are willing to do it in the most proper way according to all of the regulations. So it is required for the users to do KYC, and some of the jurisdictions are restricted from this program because of the uncertainty, legal uncertainty in the respective jurisdictions. So you can do this. You are also able to use any other means of trading USN back to other tokens that are not subjected to the wind down that was announced by the central bank. So after the release of this program, the central bank said that they are going to wind down steadily wind down the existence of the USN stablecoin. From my personal point of view, the fact that all of these things that happened are obviously kind of a bad sign to the ecosystem, because it was a prominent project. The ideas behind it were making sense, absolutely, but unfortunately, the execution and the way how they were handled, it was not good, not in the proper moment in time, not in the proper with the proper risk tolerance and stuff like that, right? So we are kind of a little bit aside of this stuff, right? we are developing Aurora, and the USN stablecoin is absolutely something different. But what I really believe as an individual, the way how the situation was solved shows an extreme robustness of the Near ecosystem. It shows the courage of Near Foundation to help solving such problems. It shows the extreme care of the users inside of this ecosystem. And if such a major black swan event was tolerated, the ecosystem passed through it, and the ecosystem, was able to live through it correctly. It means that everything is absolutely great in the ecosystem. The protective mechanisms are working. Anything that you can expect from Near is done, right? So I'm absolutely happy that Near protocol was decided to take part in to step in this situation. Kudos to them, and on our side, we obviously are happy to help to all of the USN holders to do the right thing. So yeah, it is a little bit like a blue screen of death for Near ecosystem, because people always usually think that blue screen of death is something that is extremely bad. Windows is not stable and things like that, but no, this is actually this is a last resort. This is the thing that shows that, yeah, something critical has happened. We detected it, and we decided to shut down the system, right? This is exactly what happened with the USN. So, sum in all, from my point of view, extremely positive news for the Near ecosystem as a whole. Moving on with the new partnership and the new updates to the existing partnership with Chainstack. So now Chainstack's Aurora nodes are now support to write transactions. So you are able to use the full RPC functionality provided from the Chainstack to the Aurora network. And by the way, can recommend to all of the techies. There is an AMA session that was happening in Twitter space with Chainstack and between me and Chainstack CDO. That was an absolutely great, very deep and intense tech discussion on the problems with RPCs and things around it. So in case you're in this topic, you're willing to get more insight, go to the Aurora YouTube channel and check this AMA. And another video that was coming out this week is the interview that was done during the NearCon by Nearweek. This is a half-an-hour interview with myself. I was sharing some insights in the future of Aurora there. So this is kind of more generic interview about Aurora. In case you're more getting the content as videos, this might be a nice place for you. Moving on with additional things. In the end of the last week, I was condensing some of my thoughts around the question of how to choose the blockchain where to deploy. This was the question that was asked multiple times over the past months by young teams who are coming and get in touch with me. Actually, these questions caused me to do a little bit of a research and figure out how actually people are choosing the network where to deploy. And there are some insights into this, and there are some my own personal opinions on how you need to choose and what metrics you should rely on when you're making this decision. I hope that this read was quite insightful for everyone. In case you're working on the project who is yet to choose the network where to deploy, or you know anyone that is asking this question, then you can send the link to this thread to this person, and at least he would be able to have an additional opinion on how things are looking there. This is one of the most important questions for any project, and it is super important that people are making this decision, understanding the alternatives, understanding the depth of the consequences from this decision. I'm just taking my small part into sharing the knowledge here. Cornerstone DAO, this is an infrastructure layer for the DAOs. They are launching on Near Protocol, Aurora, and Octopus, right? So for everybody who have been using Cornerstone on other networks, that's with their kind of curve style bribing solutions, that's an absolutely nice framework. So for all of you who have been using it on other networks, you're able to now use it on Aurora. Welcome, Cornerstone. And we are continuing covering the Gitcoin round 15 grantees. And today, during today's week, Aurora main Twitter account posted 3 new projects there, and I encourage everyone to take a look at these. These projects are obviously the winners, right? So the third, the second, and the first place there. So let's do let's share a little bit of love with these people. So Fileverse was getting the prize, the third prize in the contest. So this is a solution that it is a file sharing solution. It is also a collaboration tool, and all of the interactions there with the access controls are happening through NFTs on chain. So a pretty nice, interesting solution that is actually very aligned with our vision, where the Web 2 technologies are kind of immersing inside of, and they're taken inside of them blockchain solutions to enhance the existing Web 2 world. The second place was going to the project that is called Redstone, and this is a new type of an oracle, I would say. In general, they are delivering the customizable data feeds, not only the prices, not only the random number generation, but also any type of the data that you're willing to get there. So Redstone can be a nice solution for you to for the Web 2 business to actually connect the data that is off chain with the smart contracts that are working on chain. And the winner is the protocol that is called Loan Shark, and this is something that is pretty obvious to build. As long as you know what 1inch protocol is, which is the aggregator of DEXs, right? So it was a very straightforward idea. Why not to create an aggregator of lending platforms? And this is exactly what Loan Shark is doing. So they are aggregating, and they are given the best possible options for the people who are willing to lend some tokens on the blockchain. And now they are able to do it in the aggregated way with better rates. So super cool, waiting for these projects to be deployed on Aurora, waiting to use all of them. Encourage everyone who is coming from the web to utilize the power of Redstone and Fileverse in the future, and for more degens, DeFi degens, try out the Loan Shark. Moving on to the things that are around Aurora and inside of the Near ecosystem. Calimero Network, our longtime partner, the project who is building the private shards for Near, launched their own Calimero bridge. This is the bridge in between the private shards of Calimero and the public Near network. And the very specifics of this bridge is that, well, you cannot easily verify the information that is inside of the Calimero network because this information is private. So they have been using a rainbow bridge approach. Unfortunately, they were not mentioning anywhere in the thread that they were putting here Rainbow Bridge or Aurora. So that's a shame for them. You can go in the comments to this thread and kind of notify them that Aurora community is not very happy that you are not mentioning us. But yes, they have been using the code base of the Rainbow Bridge in order to build on top of it. So super great development. Calimero is for sure moving the permission blockchains much closer to the reality. Good job, Sandy, Mario, and other people who are working on the Calimero project. There is a new development in the Aurora ecosystem that will help everyone to navigate across different initiatives inside of Aurora. It is called Aurora Expert Bot, and you are able to find it in the Telegram. So this thing launched, it's just the first release, the first version, and over time it is going to be enhanced and developed further. This is the idea that is coming from the ecosystem to kind of make sure that everyone can be addressed to the right point inside of the ecosystem. I'm looking forward to use it myself. I was checking it out, trying some of the links to the information, to the ecosystem data, to the updates, including these streams. So super cool. Great development, supporting a better user experience as always. And with regard to the next things, the upcoming things, we are going to be presented during the Interop Summit 2023 in Miami Beach in February next year. So everyone who is willing to get in touch with us and with me personally, since I'm going to be there, or I'm planning to be there, please, we're welcoming you at this event in the US. That's it for the news for this week. Let me stop sharing the screen and let me check the questions from the YouTube stream. And because this is the time when you are able to ask all of your questions, and since we're here, I'm able to answer these questions. Okay, the question is, do you mind expanding a bit on the alpha leak at NearCon? How can Aurora scale by itself with an original sharding mechanism if it lives as a smart contract on Near protocol? I like literally in this sentence is everything that is said. You need to do just one logical step to understand how this thing is going to work. So yeah, let's wait a little bit for sharing this information. As you know, we tend to share the information when things are done, things are delivered, and you're able to try it out. Right? So let's keep it a little bit of mystery here. Aurora will give 30% fees back to the smart contract deployer when this will be implemented. Yeah, that's a great question. The fact is that the amount of the fees that Aurora network as a whole collects is pretty low at the moment, and it is not something that will be able to to cover the development costs or anything like that. This is a nice feature. This is a great concept for the future. Unfortunately, right now it's kind of in a lower priority. Can you give an advice for collateral contract? I'm not sure. What are you asking here? Yeah, so probably not. Okay, so yeah, so if you hear me, if you have been asking this question, you can ask me in Telegram. I will try to answer this. Yeah, but that's it for today. And as always, thanks everyone for watching and joining us on the YouTube on Friday. I wish you a very great rest of the week, and we'll see each other as always on Friday, exactly 1 week from now, on the next Friday Alpha League session. Goodbye. Cool.